This video is not about bashing Sadhguru, even though this drawing kind of makes him look like a cross between Santa Claus and a baboon. And I'm no looker either. I know that I look like a cross between Lurch and Uncle Fester from the Addams Family, so it's not like I'm making fun of the guy. I wanted to do a very respectful drawing of him and do something very creative with his beard. But now, who is Sadhguru in the first place? He is, according to Wikipedia, an Indian yoga guru and proponent of spirituality. He has been teaching yoga in southern India since 1982 and blah, 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 blah. You could read the rest on Wikipedia with the link that I've put down below. And by the way, who the hell am I to criticize this guy and draw him like a cross between Santa Claus and a baboon? I'm no one, really. I'm just another rube on YouTube who likes to shoot his mouth off on social issues that are above my pay grade, but they still affect my life just the same. And when I saw this recent video of Sadhguru on Joe Rogan's show titled Intense Moment Between Sadhguru and Joe Rogan on the Topic of Greed and Happiness, it somehow triggered my fight or flight response when I heard Sadhguru say this.
One important thing is we must be functioning consciously. If we function unconsciously and compulsively, we become a destructive force. All this destruction has happened not because of some evil plan. When you mentioned a company and said, is it them? This is why I don't want this narrative to grow. It is not happened because of some evil plan. This has happened in search of human well-being.
In search of human well-being?
Yeah. Human beings trying to be happy, human beings trying to live well. That is why they turned the planet upside down, isn't it?
In some ways, but it's also profit. Human beings trying to profit, so they're doing things that aren't
People want profit because that is the only way they can be well. Those who are making losses, are they well?
Yeah, sort of, but a lot of them, they're already well. They're greedy. They've gotten past the point of being well, and now they've gotten connected to the idea of accumulating vast sums of money.
No, that is being judgmental, calling somebody greedy, because if I have 1 meal a day, which is my normal, I think I'm doing fine. If somebody else has 1 meal a day, he thinks he's very poor, he wants 2. The guy is having 2, thinks he is poor because somebody else is having 3. One who has a little home, he thinks he is poor because somebody has a big home like this. So what is greed and what is not greed?
I'll tell you what greed is. If you make choices where you know that the thing that you're doing, whether you're distributing a product or whether you're causing an action that is going to be detrimental to human beings, but you cover up the data to hide the fact that it's going to be detrimental because you want to maximize your profit and you don't care about the negative impact it has on people because you're only thinking about money and you're already substantially wealthy. That, by definition, is being greedy, right?
See, by definition, it's like this. Somebody is dreaming of $1 million, he thinks that is the ultimate goal in his life. But a guy who has $1 million is wanting to be a billionaire.
Right.
One who is a billionaire, he looks at somebody who has $100 billion, he thinks at least that much he must have.
Right.
So I'm saying, instead of being judgmental about this, human well-being is sought from outside. That is the whole problem. See, human experience essentially happens from within. Whether it's your joy or misery, comes from within you, isn't it? Maybe somebody or something can stimulate it from outside, but still it happens within you. Joy and misery happens from within you, pain and pleasure happens from within you, agony and ecstasy happens from within you. Every human experience happens from within you. But in pursuit of happiness, we're turning the world upside down.
Now, why would that trigger my fight or flight response? Because my wife likes watching Sadhguru's videos as well as do, quite a few people that I know. And look, for the few family and friends who never watch my videos all the way to the end and you prefer watching Sadhguru's videos instead of mine, which is totally fine. If you got this far and this is all you're going to watch, all I'm saying is watch your wallet. That's it. Just watch your wallet and be careful with people who change their name to involve the word guru. Just be careful with those people. And by the way, there is some truth to what Sadhguru is talking about. I agree that we must be functioning consciously because if we function compulsively, we can become a destructive force, sure. But that's like saying if everyone just followed the golden rule, in other words, don't do unto others as you don't want others to do unto you, the world's problems would just disappear. The real problem is that there are people who are mentally unstable and they actually enjoy breaking the golden rule. And there are people who feed off the suffering of others. And that's where these spiritual fortune cookie sayings fall short. They completely ignore many unfortunate facts about reality. And one truly unfortunate example of reality is the current invasion of Ukraine by a neurologically malignant, narcissistic psychopath like Vladimir Putin. And dictators like Putin prove that the world's problems are not simply due to just people seeking out well-being and that we need to be more conscious about our actions. Which is why there is a real danger in not wanting to judge people as being greedy. Especially people like Putin who are murderously greedy. And not just for profit, but for power. Absolute power. And it's not that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's that people who seek power are usually corrupt to begin with. And those that acquire absolute power are the most corrupt of them all. Because no one is simply handed absolute power. They usually have to kill to acquire it and continue killing to keep it. And when you have people like Sadhguru claiming that this is all about consciousness and we can't judge people who abuse us and it's all about perspective and a bunch of other hippie, trippy, dippy nonsense, people like Vladimir Putin continue killing people by the thousands. Because that feel-good, spiritual, consciousness, karmic, chakra bullshit blinds people to the actual science behind the murderous minds of people like Putin and his inner circle of other psychopaths. Not to mention the psychology and sociology that explains why thousands of Russian soldiers and police are willing to blindly kill and be killed at the snap of Putin's fingers. When I went to do just a little bit of research on Sadhguru by going to his YouTube channel, I can see he has close to 10 million subscribers and he's got plenty of celebrities endorsing him. And he has videos like these titled, "Abuse is not a bullet," where he says, your experience that is happening to you right now is 100% within you. Human experience happens from within, not from outside. That is pseudo-intellectual, spiritual gibberish. Try telling that to the thousands of Ukrainians that have had to either fight or flee for their lives. Try telling that also to the thousands of people in Myanmar who are being slaughtered by their own government, let alone the millions of people in the Congo, Ethiopia, Libya, and any other war-torn African nation, let alone everyone in the Middle East who is living under some form of a theocratic dictatorship that isn't about religion, but about murderous sheiks and princes that are controlling their nation's oil reserves. The reason we have so many problems on this planet is from a confluence of many factors. It's not just one thing. But it seems to me that most of the problems arise from the undeniably selfish and greedy psychopaths in this world that most of us at least identify as dictators. I don't know if Sadhguru finds the word dictator to be too judgmental and that anyone who identifies this should take a look at their own inner self, but dictators are a special breed of humans. These are people that are neurologically incapable of empathy toward the suffering of others. And this isn't because their karma and their chakras aren't aligned or because they had to chase rats around their homes as children. Sadly enough, we need to accept that there are people in this world that no matter how good their upbringing is, no matter how normal they may seem, their brains don't have the capacity to calibrate a balance between their own well-being versus the suffering of others. Now, I'm no neurologist, but I'm willing to bet it's a chemical imbalance and therefore a hardware problem, not a software problem. In other words, no amount of psychoanalysis and much less spiritual healing will stop Vladimir Putin from slaughtering as many people as possible in order to secure his place in power. And I'm no expert on Putin either, but I'm willing to bet his desire to remain in absolute power is not about experiencing a level of luxury and extreme well-being most people can't begin to imagine. Putin has to stay in power now in order to survive. He can't not be the dictator of Russia if he wants to remain alive. And that's what the majority of human beings can't relate to. the way Putin's brain processes reality. His brain is way more focused on self-preservation, even at the cost of thousands of other people's lives. And no amount of adjusting your experiences from within is going to stop people like Putin from either trying to control your life or end your life outright. And one last thing, something else I discovered about Sadhguru's videos, he also talks about mysticism, and it seems he offers special courses for people who want to investigate that, but he claims that it's clearly not for everyone. Yeah, it's not for anyone who doesn't want to be taken for a ride that's bound to cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for mystical nonsense I'm willing to bet is demonstrably false, scientifically unfounded bullshit. But I want to be very careful with accusing Sadhguru of being another New Age Deepak Chopra or a Hindu version of a televangelist like Joel Osteen or any other self-help spiritual peddlers. Because after all, I don't want to get sued for libel, slander, or defamation. And I hope I'm wrong, that it's only a matter of time, that there's bound to be some $1 million scam to be uncovered from his Save the Soil program. But whatever, I hope Sadhguru saves the world. It clearly needs saving right now, especially out in Ukraine and Russia, China, Myanmar, pick any country in the Middle East or Africa or Cuba, where my family's from. I get it. This life is hard and reality is counterintuitive to our limited senses, which makes it all the more difficult to navigate through life. And that's where the Sadhgurus of the world are more than willing to help guide you for a small donation. Anyway, I hope this all makes sense. If I got anything incorrect, and especially anything that can get me sued, by all means, let me know in the comments down below. Look, I do not want to spread problems. I do not want to defame people, not at all. But when I whiff things that just smell like utter bullshit, I don't know. And especially when I see people that I personally know that are into that thing that could cost them money, I think it's worth making a YouTube video about that. But anyway, if you like this video and you don't think I'm trying to rip you off, by all means, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, check out the links down below for my original art and merchandise that I have for sale, and thanks for watching.